virus is clearly out of control, and there's no good the Prime Minister hinting that further restrictions are coming to place in a week or two or three. That delay has been the source of so many problems. So I say bringing those restrictions now, national restrictions within the next 24 hours, that has to be the first step to controlling the virus. On schools, I don't want to add to the chaos that will be caused by having all schools closed tomorrow. Many will be closed. It is inevitable more schools are going to have to close, and the government needs a plan for children's learning, but also for working parents. So it is inevitable that more schools are going to close. Many will be closed tomorrow morning. But the more important thing, in a way, is the national restrictions need to come in the next 24 hours. Let's not have the Prime Minister saying, I'm going to do it, but not yet. That's the problem he's made so many times.
So you're clear on that? Nationwide lockdown should come in the next 24 hours?
Nationwide lockdown. The Prime Minister is hinting that that's going to happen, but he's delaying again. And we can't afford that again. We can't allow the Prime Minister to use up the next 2 or 3 weeks and then bring in the national lockdown that is inevitable. Do it now. That's the necessary first step to get the virus back under control.
So what do you say to the Prime Minister about his viewpoint that it's important for children to be in school where possible, it's important for their mental health and well-being, it's important for parents as well? He says schools are safe, and those parents that have the option to send their children back to school tomorrow should do so.
Everybody wants children back in schools. Nobody that would argue with that. Of course, that's what we all want. It is inevitable that some schools won't be open tomorrow morning. We know that. The Prime Minister's accepted that. It's inevitable more schools will close. I don't want to call for the closure of schools tomorrow morning and add to the chaos, but we do need to recognise that it's inevitable that more schools will close, and we need a plan in place to deal with that. But it can only be part of a wider strategy that has a national lockdown in place in the next 24 hours. The Prime Minister's hinting at it, but he's not doing it, and we can't afford that delay again.
You say it's inevitable more schools will close. Do you think all schools in England should close, and if so, when?
I'm not saying all schools should close. Nobody wants that. That should be the last resort, not the first resort. The national lockdown that's necessary has to come first. We can't have retail open in some places and schools closed. But it is inevitable, I'm afraid, now the government has lost control of the virus, that more schools will be closed in addition to those that are closed tomorrow. We can't just be blind to that. We need a plan in place to allow children to learn and working parents to have a plan of how they're going to balance that life.
So just to be clear on this lockdown, you're saying a nationwide lockdown, but education stays open?
Well,
where possible?
Many schools are not going to be open tomorrow. It's inevitable, I think, that more schools will be closed, and we've got to face up to that. But that should be the last resort. The first thing is the national lockdown that needs to be in place in the next 24 hours. Not hinting that it's going to happen in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks' time. Do it now.
What about the damage that does to the economy, to jobs, to people's well-being? Another nationwide lockdown. What do we keep locking?
What we've learned is that the longer you delay the difficult decisions, the worse it is on the health front, the worse it is on the economic front. And delaying an inevitable decision again, that's been the hallmark of this Prime Minister. We can't go around that track again.